I put down here, I said original Costa Ricans is a European. That's what I Googled it, and this is what came up. No original inhabitations of Costa Ricans were indigenous people, not European. The term originated Costa Rican can be interpreted in two ways. The pre colonial indigenous people are the modern population today. The average Costa Rican has a significant mixture of European. The average Costa Rican has a significant mixture of European mixture, Spanish, Native American, and African ancestry, with European being the largest component. Pre-colonial era, before Spanish colonization, the territory of what is now Costa Rican was inhabited by various indigenous people. Colonial era, Spanish colonization began in the 16th century, and the Spanish colonization began in the 16th century, and the Spanish ultimately became the dominant group. Modern demographics today, the population is of a mix of ancestors. European, the largest component of modern the largest component of modern Costa Rican is European, predominantly Spanish, followed by the Italian, German, and other European groups. The people that makes up, okay, Native American. Many Costa Ricans have Native American ancestors through the indigenous population was significantly reduced by European disease with diseases and during the colonization. African, a smaller portion of the population has African ancestors, largely descend from the 19th century Jamaican immigrants who worked on the Caribbean coast. Mhm. Is Costa Rican considered European? Costa Rican is officially Republican. Costa Rican is a country in Central America. Okay. Are Costa Ricans mostly European? Unlike with many of their Central American neighbors, present day Costa Ricans are largely of European rather than Maltese descent. Spain was the primary country of origin. However, in estimated of 10% to 15% of the population is Niger. Gun, or something, a fairly recent arrival, primarily Maltese. Unlike with many of the Central American neighbors, present-day Costa Rican are largely of European rather than Maltese descent. Spanish was the primary country. What was that? Spanish was, hold on. The Spain was the primary country of origin. However, in estimation of 10 to 15% of the population of nine, I don't not even say that, fairly recent arrived and primarily of Maltese origin. What is the DNA of Costa Rica? The average DNA of Costa Rica is a thyroid, a thibin bird, a mixture of approximately 61% European and 30% Armenian and of 9% African ancestry. However, this varies significantly by region, with European ancestry being the highest in the Central Valley and Armenian and African ancestry being more prominent in other areas. These percentages are confirmed through modern DNA tests, which has also shown other ancestors like some Spanish, Basque, Italian, Irish, Middle Eastern are present in smaller populations. Ancestry breakdown. European around 71% primarily from Spain, 71% primarily from Spain, but also from Quo, Bengal, Bashku, Bashqua, Portuguese, and other European centers. Armenian around 30%, primarily from Central and South America. That from what I read, that's supposed to be indigenous. Armenian around 30%, primarily from Central and South America, including the ancestors of the original population of Costa Rica. African around 9%, with West Africa and Central African roots being most common. Others, some individuals may also trace their ancestry to other regions such as the Middle East or Asia. Costa Rica has been inhabited as far back as 50,000 years, 50,000 BC by indigenous people. There are many immigrants and influences from the Aztecs of Mexico to the Mayas and the Incas of Peru. I think I'm saying it right. Peru, Peru, Peru. You can count the native population was small compared to the vast Columbia civilization found throughout Latin America. How far is Costa Rica from Europe? How far is from Costa Rica to Europe? The distinct between Costa Rica and Europe, 9538 kilometers. How long does it take to get from Costa Rica to Europe? Costa Rican to Europe, 7 ways to travel with train and plane. Okay, so that means it might be a little far distance. Does Costa Rican have African ancestry? Costa Rican has far small minority groups, and Maltese are blacks, Armenians, and Asians, primarily Chinese, East Asian. About 8% of the population is of African descent, or multi mix, or European and Africans, who are called Afro-Costa Rican. Oh, okay. Just doing some research on Costa Rica. Some of them is like bare skinned or something like that. Older men of Costa Rican. Yeah, you can see the fair skin. You still can see the European mixture of Europe. I mean, there's no such thing as mix. You are what your father is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not overtaken by this. Costa Rican. Yeah, I don't like to. I mean, it's like a small few of minorities that you got some Costa Ricans that most they say most Costa Ricans consider themselves white or European or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Armenian. Then you have the mixture of African and they have African ancestors, and they call them Afro Costa Ricans. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why they got Afro Central America, right? Because when I look, like I said, when you look at the curses, can I relate to that? Absolutely. I can say that quicker. Yeah, I know for sure about that part. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like, even though I hear people say things like the people in my family say, you know what I'm saying? Genetically, we supposed to be Costa Rican, but I don't really like to. You know what I'm saying? That's why I continue to do research on my culture. You know what I'm saying? And I know they have a lot of coffee in Costa Rica, and I know that our people they like the coffee. They drunk it like they call what's so crazy about it. They call themselves Creole. So how can you? They that's what they. I guess they do during that era. That's what they went by because I don't know. They didn't know any better, or they just call themselves that, or whatever. Now you hear Costa Rican. See, when you have people saying different things, that's what pretty much puts you right in the middle. Like when you fit when if I go to, let's just say if I go get a job and put an application down, I would have to put other. You know what I'm saying? Although they say that you know genetically that's what we supposed to be. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all talk to me in the comment section. And then you can't really go see you can it's not really about skin color, you know. And whatever my father is, that's what I am. Whatever your father is, that's what you are. But when it comes to relating to struggle, you looking at a man, I ain't never owned a car. Now, did I wake up one day and say, "Oh, you know, I hope I'm poor"? No, nope, no, I didn't do that. You really can't tell Costa Rican from original one. Just like Africans can look like anything. So I'm gonna be the video was entitled Costa Rican. Costa Rican. Yes, Costa Rican. So when they click on it, they no, I read some of the stuff. Let me go and let me read. Let's see here. Let's look at it. All right, let's look at this here. Let's go back to the first. Original Costa Ricans is of European. That's what I said. The original Costa Ricans is of European. That's. But right here, I googled it. But this is what the main what it's saying. Hold on. Let me see if I can come around here. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. Genetically, Costa Ricans is a product of a heightened bird or something like that. I don't even know what the hell I just said. Ancestry, with the average population being mixture of European around 61% Armenian, 61% Armenian, around 30% around Armenian, around 30%, and African around 9% origin, and a mixture of European around 61% Armenian and around 30% African, around 9% origin. However, the exact region, wait a minute, population varies significant by the region, with European ancestry higher in the central and north region, and Armenian and African ancestry more prominent in southern and coastal areas, respectively. I hope I said that right. European, the largest component of European, primarily from Spain, but also includes significant contributors from Italy, Germany, and other European countries, as well as Jewish communities. Yeah, as well as Jewish communities. The largest component of modern Costa Ricans is of European, predominantly Spanish, followed by Italian and German, and so on. Some of these people converted to Judaism. Yeah, because there's no such thing as because see, you can have a name Spanish and you can live in America, and you can have what you call it, citizenship is not the same as somebody that's, you can have citizenship, but that doesn't mean that is your my original nationality, if that makes sense. Talk to me in the comment section about this.